Hello, the doc is in, and welcome back to another chapter of One Punch Man. Chapter 166, Squared. That's not 166 Squared. The name of the chapter is Squared. In the last chapter, we basically have Saitama and Garou going at it. Garou's throwing out a lot of stuff. He has modes. He has nuclear fission punches. He has a gamma ray burst, the biggest natural explosion in all of the known universe in real life. And Garou, by the end of the chapter, is prepared to conduct evil. He didn't take the full power of God. He basically gave him the middle finger, but still got blessed with power. And this is how strong he is. We haven't seen Saitama by the last half of the chapter, and things are looking real hopeless. But let's see how this chapter goes. Before we get into this, just a little content warning. This chapter hits on a level only One Punch Man can achieve. Anyway, let's begin. So the chapter starts off. We have Child Emperor and that one kid, the rich kid that they were trying to save the entire Monster Association arc. Their nose start bleeding and they just straight up pass out. We have Child Emperor's hair even being lost. We have Zombie Man and that one official from the Hero Association kind of checking on them, being like, oh shoot, what's wrong? From there, we cut away and we have Garou and Bang. They're looking at each other and Bang's kind of like, nah, I can kind of sense it. There's something dark within him. And he's basically like, you are being controlled. And Bang's like, I guess we gotta fight. And in the background, actually, we see a bunch of people kind of falling on the ground and stuff. But then we see a lot of people on the ground from the previous chapter kind of running away. But Bang stands up. He's like, I'm gonna get you back, Garou. We just gonna have to throw hands again. But Bang looks pretty beat up in and of itself, because he was defeated by Garou earlier anyway. And we have the first hype moment of this chapter of many. And so Garou's like, oh, I'm fighting of my own free will. Don't worry about it. Bang. And we have Blast just pulling up casually, and he basically says, you are right, Bang. That guy is totally being controlled. And so Blast pulls up and he's basically like, look, you are being controlled by God. And Bang's just like, what'd you say? And Garou's like, God? He's basically like, don't you think it's weird that you got blessed with like divine power, and basically that divine power is supposed to be used for to destroy all living things in all the universe, probably. So don't you, unless that's your goal, I think you should chill. And Garou's kind of like, well, if that's true, quote unquote, what are you saying I should do? And Blast is like, well, come with me and we're gonna go to another dimension. And I'm like, dang, he really do got dimensional powers. And as we're going along, Blast basically explains like, hey, if you hang out here, you're radiating cosmic radiation. All right. So everybody on the planet who's near you is like dying, who doesn't have like cosmic resistance or whatever. So it's for the best that you move away and then, do something about your power, basically, is what Blast is suggesting. And so Blast is like, hey, well, he's thinking in his head, he's basically like, this guy seems to still have some of his humanity. He must not have taken the full package of power from God. And he's just like, dang, like, what would have happened if you would have gotten everything? Which is kind of crazy. It's just something considered, that had Garou like fully accepted God's will, like that things could have gone crazy. And Blast continues his inner monologue. He's like, I hope this guy listens to reason, because otherwise, two beings who manipulate reality of the cosmos are gonna have to squabble. And I'm assuming he's referring to himself and Garou. And I'm like, Blast got it like that? He's, you're manipulating reality of the cosmos? Hold on. Power confirmations. This is different. This is very different. But to Blast, I imagine, disappointment, Garou's basically like, this divine power kind of hit. If that's the case, shoot, I must really be that symbol of fear for real then. And Blast is real quiet, and Bang just calls Garou foolish. But Garou's just like, hey, I can't wait to see how everybody changes on the planet Earth now that they have a new symbol of fear to look forward to. And Garou even calls himself disaster level god. This is different. This is different. This hits different. Level god disasters, that's just not mentioned. Garou being like, hey, I'm disaster level god. First off, it's true. It's true. If we're saying that him simply being around other people literally kills them, that's kind of disaster level god kind of levels. But going off of that, all right, let's not get too deep into that. All right, there's a lot going on in this chapter. We're only a third in. Basically, Bang is like, I won't allow it. Bang's about to run the fade, but Blast is like, nah. If you get too close, you're gonna die. And Bang's like, so what? If you're going, you'll have to kill me first. And Garou just kind of looks at him, and Garou basically is like, if I gotta kill old man to create the perfect world, I mean, I'ma do it. And it still kind of shows how Garou just has this weird skewed vision of creating a good, peaceful world, where he's like, you know, if I become the symbol of fear, then everybody's gonna be good, and yada yada yada. It's still an effort for Terrio. He's thinking about Terrio in his head, and he's basically like, yeah, I'll kill my master for that. I'm like, he's kind of wild for that, but that's neither here nor there. And we cut away from that, and we have Minako running away, bleeding from the eye. It seems like it's not just relegated to humans. Everybody who's around Garou at this time, who doesn't have cosmic radiation resistance, is dying. And as he's running away, as Minako's running away, she sees Terrio face down on the ground, bleeding from the face. Because of course he is, because he's literally a child. And cut away from that, and I imagine Minako is probably gonna like save him, or at least get him like further away, since she's also running away. But we have we have Genos, the demon cyborg, just pulling up. He sees the situation, no body, no legs, just head and upper torso, and he over here comes at Garou. He hits him with the headbutt. And we have Blast and Bang being like, shoot. And Genos, he's over here like, I'm ready to scrap at any time. I have resistance to cosmic energy personally, so we can really run this fade. And of course, Garou, first off, doesn't really take damage from that. And he's like, you know what? That was very heroic of you. I can see why Saitama has you as his apprentice. You're pretty cool guy. As Garou is holding up Genos by his hair, Blast decides to take this opportunity. He shoots a dimension cannon. I'm like, hey, yo, we're really about to get a Blast fight. He shoots the shot, right? And so Garou jumps over it. And apparently, Blast battle IQ kind of different, because he shoots the shot, right? He puts a portal above Garou, so he goes up into the portal, comes out the ground in front of Blast, gets hit with a gravity knuckle straight to the back of the head. He's like, boom. And then he sends him flying into another portal, and he sets up two portals. So there's a portal where he flies into, and then he has another portal he comes out of near, like in front of Blast, right? So it's kind of hard to explain, but basically he goes forward into a portal and he comes out the side in front of Blast. And so then you get a little loop where he goes into the front portal, and then he gets punched in the face by Blast into the front portal to come out the side portal. And you get a little wombo combo. I'm like, dang, Blast hit a little different. And then he causes his hand together. He's like, shut. He brings the portals together. And I guess he was supposed to like send Garou somewhere or whatever. But Garou's like, oh, you're not gonna send me out of the ring, all right? We still fighting. I can't stress that Garou basically just created a portal himself. And then, all right, he copies Blast's drip. He's fighting Cell. He said, I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need you to put that on the table, young man. He said, run your pockets, big bro. And he throws out a combination of nuclear fission and gravity knuckles at Blast. I'm like, Garou's different. He's different. But Blast, he's even more different. So instead of hitting, so we have Saitama and Garou throwing fists at each other, right? Normal consecutive punches. Garou's upgrading, all right? He has gravity knuckle in one hand, nuclear fist in the other, and he's throwing a barrage. And you know what Blast says? He says, I don't play those kiddie games. And he just portals the fists away. And we see just gigantic balls of destruction up in the sky, which is where Blast teleports the impacts of the fists. And I'm just like, different. And he just teleports everything away. Well, Blast does, to be specific. He just teleports everything away. I imagine like maybe a black hole thing or whatever. And apparently Garou's releasing so much energy that Blast portals are getting overloaded, and they just shut, and there's like a big explosion. And basically Blast is like, shoot, we gotta get everybody off world, because at this rate, everybody feeling to die at the rate Garou's going at. And Garou's just like, you know what, you're not too bad, Blast. I mean, you ain't rank 1 for no reason, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm still not getting real serious just yet. I will beat you down. And then we get into the absolute insanity of the end of the chapter, alright? Blast's fighting, period. That's crazy. Garou matching Blast, then saying, I'm still not done yet, bum, is crazy. How do we one-up this for the rest of the chapter? So Garou says, alright, when I was fighting Saitama, he wasn't really using his full power. And if I copy him and refine his full power, I will absolutely win. Which is logical. That's a very smart battle IQ thing to come up with. And he says, how do I make Saitama get serious? And he comes up with a great idea. He picks up Genos by the head, right? We have Blast and Bang watching on. And Genos, after being picked up by his head, he's like, masked. Let me get the out. Garou punches a hole through him. He donuts Genos, our golden cyborg boy. All right, he honestly didn't deserve this. My jaw on the floor. Following the punch, black panel. Yes, it's that serious. We have blood raining from the sky. Because yes, Genos is mostly cyborg, mostly robot, whatever, but he's still partly human. Genos is, for all intents and purposes, at this moment, dead. Because he only has a spine, a brain. I think that's more or less it. And yeah, he just got donated, so I think he might just be dead. Yeah. And then Saitama pulls up. He had no cape. His clothes a little bit tattered, and there's blood raining from the sky. And Genos is dead on the floor. Yeah, serious panel of Saitama. Saitama's looking at the situation like, what has happened? And we get Garou, after seeing Saitama pull up, he decides, after killing his apprentice, to talk shit. He's a goon. Aren't you a bit late? And so that's what Garou says to Saitama when he pulls up. And then he says, here you go. All right, at this point, Bang's passed out from cosmic radiation. The only person still up is Blast. And Blast is like, Saitama gotta get out of here. He doesn't know about the truth. He doesn't know the truth. But Garou throws Genos' core at Saitama, and he catches it. We get a close-up of Genos' destroyed metal body on the floor, bleeding out. And Saitama could only say Genos. And so we get a little flashback, and we basically have Genos being like, oh, you're always on time. And Saitama's like, nah, I'm usually arrive too late. And so Saitama, holding the core, he's like, do I really have a hero's intuition? And we see like everybody just off in the distance, just passed out, slumped, basically dead. I think the only person kind of up is still Flashy Flash, but everybody else is more or less completely finished. The panel ends with Saitama saying, sure, it doesn't seem like it, with his fist steaming. I'm like, oh no. And we get serious face Saitama, like not goofy drawn, like serious face Saitama. We got this, I can only assume the sun shining on him, with blood raining from the sky all over his face. And then we get a killer move. Serious punch. We get blacked out face Saitama with the fist. If there is a fist that guaranteeably could destroy everything, it's this one. If there's a punch from Saitama where we say, yeah, Saitama's probably trying this time, this is the punch. And where's Garou's response to getting basically told, I'm finna kill you, I'm going to blow your body away? He says, Bolt Saitama, serious punch. And we have blasters in the background, like this much energy, it will shatter the earth. And then in chapter, I'm like, oh my god, you can't. I've never ever read a chapter that literally left me speechless like that, ever. Except for One Punch Man chapters. One Punch Man chapters usually got me hyped. That little sequence at the very end, oh, my mind broke. I was like, there's no way. I was like, oh, this chapter we're gonna get a serious table flip. No, we're just gonna see Garou die. That's what we're gonna see. We're gonna see Garou die. That's what's gonna happen. But we didn't quite see it yet, and that's it for the chapter. That is it. We gotta wait another 2 weeks. 2 long weeks to see the result of this. But yeah, Garou's different. He said, I'm evil, and evil does what evil's gonna do. He said, I will kill my master. I will throw hands with blasts and steal his drip. I will kill a random S-class just to piss off Saitama. Just so that I can really flex on everybody. I'm like, dang. Like, he just committed heresy. I don't know how Garou's supposed to come back from this one, alright? I don't know how Garou's supposed to come back from this one. Because in the webcomic, long story short, Saitama kind of like takes Garou away and he's supposed to live. At this point, I'm like, Saitama's gonna murder Garou. I mean, there is really no way Garou is gonna... Yeah, killing generals is different. Killing generals is very different. Our beautiful cyborg boy, his life is over. He didn't even get to meet the mad cyborg, nothing. He's just dead. And I mean, that's not even touching on Blast fighting. We got to see what his abilities are. We got to see Dimension. I'm like, oh my god, this chapter is so good. I don't even know. Oh my god, we're going to make another video about this one. There will be a video about this one. There will be a video about this one. We will be discussing all the stuff that happened in this chapter. But for right now, we'll just end it here. All right, let's just sit on that. Like the video if you like the video. Leave a dislike if you dislike the video. But I don't know how you could possibly dislike it. Comment. Do you think Garou's just gonna die next chapter? You think he's just gonna have half his body? You think his whole body is just gonna obliterate? Because I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, leave comments what you think about what's gonna happen to Garou. I don't even know if you have anything to say about Saitama. Leave comments about blasts. And yeah, subscribe if you like the videos and like the channel. Ring the notification bell and etc. And yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.